Going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now today, hey, we got some Australian cricket to review. Australia, wow, we completely destroy Sri Lanka in their own home. The first of 3 T20s. Of course, we will after this then be playing, I think it is 2 ODIs or 3 ODIs, and then we will play, I think, 3 test matches as well to end off the series. So we start off the series with a bang. Some big things happened. Well, I don't want to say big things happened, but hey, it was a pretty good game of cricket for the Aussies. Sri Lanka, super disappointing, which we will get into. They collapsed, like one of the worst collapses I've ever seen in cricket history, to be honest. It was pretty embarrassing from the Sri Lankans with the bat. But hey, if you guys are new, subscribe. Let's just jump straight into it. There is nothing more to rave on about. Player of the match was none other than that man, Josh Hazlewood. He is so good. I mean, seriously, he is just our most consistent bowler in all 3 formats. He is arguably our best bowler in almost all 3 formats. He goes all right, this guy, doesn't he? I mean, he does it with any sort of conditions, any pitch, red ball, white ball, bloody pink ball. He does it all. Gives everything he's got in the field. Is a great fieldsman, actually. He can do it all, the big man Hoff, and he was fantastic with the ball to start us off here with this series on home soil in the T20 World Cup this year. He's going to be the main guy, Hazlewood. If we want to go back-to-back, Hazlewood has to be our man who has to dominate, I reckon. That's just my guess. But then again, we do have Pat Cummins and Mitchell Starc, so that's okay as well. All right, into the scorecard. Sri Lanka to bat first, only made 128, which is always disappointing. The pitch was flat. It was a run-heavy pitch. So the fact that we even bowled them out, like they did not have 1 wicket to spare, is a credit to our bowling for never letting off, but also just really embarrassing for Sri Lanka to go all out in not even 20 overs, 19.3 overs. Like, it was just embarrassing. I want to go straight to their fall of wickets here, guys, so everyone else can see what sort of collapse we witnessed last night. Here we go. So they lost their first wicket at 1 for 39 after 4.2. It's pretty good. They're going pretty well, right? Their second wicket was Nissanka. He went out. They were 2 for 100 after 11.6 overs. After 12 overs, they were only 2 down for 100. That's pretty good. That is a pretty good, I mean, what? 12th over, you're on 100, you're only 2 down. You're looking for at least 160. At least 150 plus. And then you see after this, 102, 103, 103, 116, 118, 127, 128, 128. Just completely fell apart and only made, it's just embarrassing. They only made 28 more runs from after losing their second wicket. So they lost 8 for 28 in their last 8 overs of the game. There's a lot of 8s there, I know, but that is seriously embarrassing. You don't see many collapses like this on the international stage, so this is pretty embarrassing for Sri Lanka. I'm not even going to lie. Credit to our bowling does have to be said. In fact, I didn't even go through Sri Lanka's batting order, so let's do that real quick. Nissanka, I mean, he's really their only hope. I don't know who this guy is. Danushka Gunathilaka actually impressed me. He actually looked pretty good. 26 off 15, 3 fours and a 6. Look, I mean, it's not a great total, but he actually looked pretty good. I don't know much about him, but we're always down to learn about new players. He's 31, so maybe he's not new. How many games has he played? Damn! Alright, shit! Maybe I have heard of this guy. Okay. The Lanka Prem for obstruct. So maybe I have seen a little bit of this guy. I thought I hadn't known him, but There you go. Maybe I do. He's played 8 Test matches, 40 ODIs, and 30 T20s. I mean, let's be real. He hasn't done a lot in either of them except for ODI. He's a lot better in ODI cricket, clearly, but okay, shit, there you go. Never mind. I thought he was like some young, new guy. I had no idea, to be honest. All right, who else have we got? We got Sri Lanka, who, again, is pretty class, but, yeah, 38 off 34 was run out. Yeah, we were just really, really good in the field. Kusal Mendez gone for 1. Rajapaksa, the Punjab king himself, Rajapaksa, he goes for a golden duck. So he's bringing all the Punjab king's luck straight to Sri Lanka. We got Shanaka, the skipper, went out for a duck as well. Hasaranga went out for 17. Of course, the little man Harsi boy. We had Karuna Ratne, who got run out. Chamira gone for 1. Thikshana gone for 1. And this guy at the end, Nuwan Thashara, not out for 3. So just classy stuff right there. Sorry, not out for 0 off 3. Let me be correct there. All right, now into our bowling. Even though we won, I still have some things to say about our bowling. Mitchell Starc was great. 3 for 26 off 4. Obviously, he's he's a gun. There's nothing to be said there. Hazelwood is, we've already spoken about him, but he's pretty good, isn't he? He's pretty good. 4 for 16 off 4. Mitchell Marsh was the first concern of this game, but look, we won. We absolutely killed them. Marsh, he just didn't seem to get any of his line right. I don't know why he was bowling so short on a pitch that did not have much pace in it, or bounce or movement or anything. So obviously he just didn't get his bowling right, but that's okay. I mean, we need Marsh to bowl at least 1 to 2 to even 3 overs during the World Cup. So hopefully he can get his bowling form nice. And if he can start bowling like, old Mitchell Marsh, when he used to bowl 130s consistently, I kind of relate it back to a Hardik Pandya, who, injury concerns, in and out of their Indian teams, national selection, good in your local tournaments, and then going back, and then going good again, and then injury, and then bowling, and then batting, and then doing it both at the same time. Look, there's a big role for any all-rounder in our team this year. Obviously, Marshy, Maxwell, even Agar is that third kind of option. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm so excited for the World Cup. It's going to be bloody good. G. Maxwell, none for 18 off 2. Yeah, look, if I'm going to be honest, I love Glenn, but he just... in Australian conditions, I feel like he might get away with bowling an over or 2. But in a flat, just crap... I'm going to be honest, it was not a good pitch for bowling at all. But, I guess when it's flat like that, it makes it pretty easy to put a spinner over the rope. Kane Richardson, 1 for 22 off 3. Now, to be honest, I didn't think he bowled that well, but pretty economical. Clearly bowled okay, but he is still not in the frame of playing for the T20 World Cup, in my opinion. I really hope we don't see him play any big games. If we play it against, I'm trying to think of a team, Papua New Guinea, or... Who was in it last year? Who was it? Netherlands? Was it Netherlands? Who does David Weiss play for? Is it Netherlands? I think so. But, maybe if we play a team like that, then you can play Richardson. But I would rather see Jai Richardson. I'd rather see Moses on Reeks bowl 4 overs. I'd rather, I just think there's other much better pace options in this country than Richo. But... all right, the selectors, they back him in, so I'll back them in, I guess. Agar, none for 25 off 4. Actually bowled okay. Look, he got hit pretty early, but, I think came back pretty well. And he is playing as the frontline spinner in this entire series. Look, is there a spot for him at the World Cup? Unfortunately not. He doesn't replace Maxwell. He doesn't replace Marsh. Maybe replaces Steve Smith. But then again, that means you have to rejiggle the order because you're not going to play Agar as a number 4. So maybe it's Maxwell who goes to 4 instead of batting at 5, and then it means Stoinis goes up 1, and then Agar can bat at... Look, there's so many things that even though we are the reigning champions, like we are the champions of the world in T20 cricket, and we still can't figure out what our best 11 is. It's a good problem to have. It seriously is a good problem to have. All right, on to the Aussies batting. Look, there isn't a whole lot to talk about for the Sri Lankans, but here we go for the Aussies. Of course, Aaron Finch, the skipper, still. Have your thoughts about that? But, good to see the man, Aaron Finch, in some form. David Warner carrying out his great IPL form. But hey, what I'm most happy for is the big man Finchy right here. Looked powerful, looked strong, looked really good. There was a few deliveries early where I thought, gee whiz, Finchy, you're not going to clear you're not going to clear the inner circle here. And then he just hit this beautiful stroke right down the ground. And I just said, is this 2015 Aaron Finch? Like, what's going on? That looks like some prime Aaron Finch right there. He hit some beautiful shots. Of course, he's not the same batsman that he was 6 years ago. I guess no one really is. But he looked good. And this is all we need to see from Finchy, is him get some confidence, get some runs under his belt, and you can just lock him in for the World Cup. Look, he hasn't scored many runs in the last 3 years, if that, but he's still a great leader. He's still a great bloke. And you know what? He has given literally everything to this Australian T20 international setup since he was 18 years old. Like, this has been our franchise T20 player forever. Like, Finchy, Warner, I guess would have been the two. I mean, Maxi as well would have been the big three in recent memory. But like a pioneer of Australian T20 cricket. I'd love to see him get one more World Cup under his belt, and then bow out in fashion. David Warner, of course, who, is there much to be said? Was in some great form for the Delhi Capitals during the IPL. Brings it to Sri Lanka. And nothing's changed. Yes, it was a comfortable deck to be batting on, but you still have to get it done. And they did very easily. All right, into the bowlers. Sorry, just something that I want to note here as well about our batting order. It says yet to bat. So Marsh in at 3, obviously. Maxwell in at 4. So maybe they are going to put Smith at 5, Maxi at 4, which should have happened 5 years ago in Australian cricket. Like, we've always been persisting with Steve Smith as a number 3/4 in T20 cricket. Now that we've got Mitchell Marsh, who is locked in at number 3, it's like an easy solution just to say, all right, Steve, there you go, number 4. You've done nothing in T20 cricket for the last 3-4 years. But now that you move him down to 5, he looks, on paper, it looks a lot better when Maxi's in at 4. That's where he will play his best. And then Smithy at 5, and Stoyne at 6, Matty Wade at 7, Agar at 8, Stark at 9. Like, that's a very depthy batting order right there. But of course, Zampa will replace Agar when he comes into the side. So I guess we go down to about 8 batsmen, but that's okay. All right, the Sri Lankan bowlers, Thikshana, he was actually probably their best. None for 25 off 4. Nuwan Thushara, none for 21 off 2. Dusmantha Chamira, man, you just, no. He's bringing his IPL form, isn't he? He wasn't playing very well for LSG, if I'm going to be honest, and now he brings that same form back home. Unlucky. And Hasaranga is probably some of the worst bowling I've seen from him, like almost ever. None for 27 off only 2 overs. Now, yes, the pitch was just not a spinning-friendly deck at all. It was a slow, barely spinning track. It had nothing in it for anyone almost. So Hasaranga, look, we targeted him. He did not bowl well. And Karuna Ratne, none for 13 off 2. So, hey, look, we get a comfortable victory in the end. Very, very easy. The next T20 is indeed... Oh, okay. So we get a back-to-back. So we get another T20 tonight. It starts at 11:30 my time, which is actually so annoying because, like, 11:30 is kind of, you're either deciding that you want to stay up for another hour or two, or at 11:30, you're deciding if you want to go to sleep or not. So last night, if I want to be totally honest, I did not watch one single ball from this Australian game. I was asleep at about 11 o'clock. Look, after a big IPL season, I am still recovering on getting all of my sleep back. So, look, some of these matches... look, when the test matches start, I will be watching them. But when it's like a little T20 against Sri Lanka, it's like... Is it worth wasting my sleep schedule on a game that we should comfortably win? Maybe. Who knows? But hey, I watched the highlights. I read a bunch of the reviews and stuff and all of that. So I'm still covered. I'm still all over it. The highlights pretty much gave us everything you needed to see in this one. But hey, that will count. Oh, hold on. I want to see when the test matches start. Never mind. Okay, I guess we won't be doing that. It doesn't have... See, why isn't there a more matches like tab right here? Hey, that's just going to cap it off, guys. A great win for us. I'm just looking forward to the test cricket, to be brutally honest, and the World Cup. So, hey, I hope everyone enjoyed, and I'll see everyone in the next one.